Have you ever wondered if there's a way to completely transform your health without relying on medication? Welcome back to Vitality Living. Today, we're diving into a topic that could truly change your life, especially if you're over 40. We're talking about how to reverse type 2 diabetes by simply changing your diet. Yes, you heard that right. No meds, just food. Many people think type 2 diabetes is a life sentence, but guess what? It doesn't have to be. So, are you ready to take control of your health? Let's get started. First things first, let's break down what's actually happening in your body when you have type 2 diabetes. Imagine your body as a big water tank. Every time you eat something packed with sugar or carbs, you're filling that tank up. But what happens when it's full? That sugar starts to overflow into your bloodstream. And that's when your doctor says you have diabetes. Imagine what happens when that tank is consistently overflowing. That's when the real damage begins. But here's the thing. What if you could stop filling that tank? Sounds like a smart move, right? We're going to talk about exactly how to do that, and trust me, it's easier than you might think. Ready to learn the first step? So, here's the key to reversing type 2 diabetes. Cut back on carbs. But why is that so important? Have you ever stopped to think about what's really fueling your blood sugar spikes? Carbs are basically sugars in disguise. When you eat a slice of bread or a bowl of pasta, your body breaks it down into glucose. That's sugar. And too much of it is what causes the problem. By reducing your carb intake, you're essentially turning off the faucet that's been filling up your tank. Makes sense, right? But I bet you're wondering, what can I eat instead? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Stick around because we're about to dive into some real-life examples and practical tips. Let's talk about some real-world proof. Over in the UK, doctors David and Jen Unwin decided to try something different with their patients. Instead of relying on medication, they recommended a low-carb diet. And the results? Absolutely mind-blowing. On average, their patients lost over 18 pounds, and nearly half of them reversed their type 2 diabetes completely. Yep, you heard that right, they're no longer diabetic. Not only did they lose weight and reverse diabetes, but they also reported feeling more energetic and healthier than ever before. But how did they do it? And more importantly, how can you keep watching, because we're going to show you how to bring these results into your own life. Starting with what you should and shouldn't be eating. All right, let's get practical. How do you start making these changes? What you put on your plate can either heal you or harm you. Let's make sure it's the former. The first thing you need to do is say goodbye to sugar. And I don't just mean desserts. I'm talking about all those hidden sugars in bread, pasta, and potatoes. Foods that quickly turn into glucose in your body. So, what should be on your plate instead? Focus on healthy proteins like chicken, fish, and eggs, plus lots of non-starchy vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and kale. And don't forget healthy fats. Olive oil, avocado, and nuts are your new best friends. Sounds doable, right? But here's where it gets tricky. Did you know that some foods that seem healthy can actually be packed with hidden sugars? Let's bust a myth. Not all foods labeled as healthy are good for you. Take low-fat yogurt, for example. It might seem like a smart choice, but guess what? It often has more sugar than a candy bar. And those diet or light products, they're often loaded with artificial sweeteners that can mess with your body's natural signals, making you crave even more food. It's easy to be misled, but once you know what to look for, you'll be empowered to make better choices. So how can you avoid these traps? Simple. Start reading labels. Learn to spot the many sneaky names for sugar and steer clear of processed foods as much as possible. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. Fruits. Are they really as healthy as we think? We all know fruits are healthy, right? Well, it's not that simple. Some fruits like bananas and grapes are loaded with fructose, which is just another form of sugar. Eating too much of these can spike your blood sugar levels. But don't worry, you don't have to cut out fruit completely. So next time you're craving something sweet, reach for a handful of berries instead of that banana. Opt for berries like strawberries and blueberries, which are lower in sugar and packed with nutrients. So, how do you put all this into action? Let's talk about how to create a balanced, delicious plate that will keep your blood sugar in check and your taste buds happy. Now, let's talk about what a healthy, diabetes-friendly meal looks like. Picture this: a plate full of green veggies, a juicy piece of salmon, and a drizzle of olive oil. Not only will this meal help control your blood sugar, but it will also keep you full and satisfied. Not only will these meals help manage your blood sugar, but they'll also leave you feeling satisfied and energized throughout the day. And here's a bonus. You'll have fewer cravings to snack between meals. Speaking of snacks, did you know that cutting them out could be a game changer for your blood sugar levels? Let's explore why. Here's the thing about snacks. They're often loaded with hidden sugars and carbs that send your blood sugar soaring. Plus, they're so easy to overeat. But when you focus on eating balanced, satisfying meals, you'll find that your need for snacks drops dramatically. Breaking free from the snack trap can be your secret weapon in maintaining stable blood sugar levels all day long. If you do need a snack, go for something high in protein like a handful of nuts or a small serving of Greek yogurt. Trust me, your body will thank you. Now that you know what to eat and what to avoid, let's wrap up with how these changes can completely transform your life. So, what's the next step? Start making these small changes today. Remember, type 2 diabetes is all about sugar overload. By cutting back on carbs and focusing on whole, nutrient-dense foods, you're not just managing the disease, you could be reversing it. If you found these tips helpful, don't keep them to yourself. Share this video with someone who could benefit. We'd also love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these tips before, or are you planning to make a change? Drop a comment below and share your experience. And don't forget to subscribe to Vitality Living for more tips on living your healthiest, happiest life. Plus, be sure to check out the first pinned comment where we've recommended some great products that can help you reach your health goals even faster. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.